Hi, so today we're looking at your natural environment, the environment around you, and we're really interested in the soil and the health of the soil. The soil is a really important resource on earth and we are dependent on it because plants grow in soil and plants fix energy from the sun, which we can't do. We're not capable of that, and so we eat plants, we eat lettuce, we eat fruit, we eat celery, and we're dependent on that for our energy. Other animals also eat plants, so a cow might eat grass and then we drink the milk. So it's a food chain. It came from the plant to the cow to us, a natural food chain. Now we need really healthy, good quality soil so that our plants can thrive and they grow very well. So you can check the health of your soil around where you live by setting up a simple piece of equipment. This is a Tulgren funnel, okay? So this is just made out of a very clean pop bottle, a fizzy pop bottle, okay? It needs to be clean, otherwise it gets quite sticky and quite messy. You need to take off any labels or anything because you want to see inside, you want to see what's happening. Very carefully cut around so that the top comes off, and this becomes the funnel part. Cover the neck of the bottle with some netting or lint, old ties, anything that's got little tiny holes in it. I've actually got a piece of old cloth on mine and I've actually just stuck a pin in it to make some bigger holes because I didn't have any netting, but that's fine. Pull it quite tight and then hold it in place with the elastic band. You might need some help with this. Also, where you've cut the top can be really sharp, so be mindful. It's plastic, but it can actually cut. It can be really sharp. Sometimes I'll put an elastic band around it to make it nice and smooth so it doesn't cut me. You then put the funnel bit inside the bottle and that's your setup. Go outside and collect some leaf litter. Now you'll see leaf litter. Leaf litter is what falls off the trees, it's around the garden and it's rotten leaves. And it makes the soil very, very healthy because as the leaves decay and rot, it churns up the nutrients and it becomes very healthy soil. And an indicator of how healthy that soil is the amount of soil invertebrate, tiny microscopic invertebrate that grow in the soil. So we can collect it quite easily just using a bag. Put your hand inside the bag and scrape it along the surface and collect the leaves. Tie the top of the bag because we don't want to lose any living creatures that are in there. You take it inside to your Tulgren funnel and you very, very carefully and noisily, I expect, empty the leaves into the Tulgren funnel. Be very careful not to lose anything. Give it an extra little shake just to make sure if anything's creeped around and stuck to the bag that you've actually managed to collect it. Now you can see from your leaf litter sample that columbella or soil invertebrate really, really like that dark, moist, damp atmosphere. But we want to collect them because we want to observe them. And the way to do that is to change their habitat. And we can put the Tulgren funnel underneath a lamp. This type of lamp is really good because the bulb, please don't touch it, because it gets really hot. And so it generates a lot of heat and the heat is moving into the leaves. The light is moving into the leaves. So these columbella now, these tiny, tiny, tiny soil invertebrate are running for their lives, away from the light, away from the heat. And as they run down and fall through the leaves, they fall through the netting over the neck of the bottle. And within a very, very short time, because the columbella are very, very quick and very good at moving, within a short time, not hours, not days, you will collect some soil invertebrate. So I can recognise that we've got some columbella because they just look like tiny little white pinheads. So if your soil is healthy, then you will find some soil invertebrate. If it isn't, if it's contaminated in any way, shape or form, a little bit of fertiliser, pesticide, any chemicals, too much water, if the soil's waterlogged, the columbella cannot survive, the soil invertebrate cannot survive. Just to be clear, columbella is a kind of soil invertebrate, but there are other types. The columbella is the most common kind of invertebrate worldwide. You can find it in almost every country living in leaf litter. So if you've got a hand lens or a microscope, you should be able to count how many you've got. Or if you've got a microscope, put some on a slide. Don't inhale, because you don't want to inhale them. You want them to be a sample that you can observe. And have a look at them, study the shape of them. Do some research on the internet. Look for a scientific drawing of a columbella. They're commonly known as springtail. You'll find that they look very much like a dinosaur, with a big hook on the back instead of back legs. And that hook flicks the insect, it flicks it really high. Some scientists say that they can jump a metre, others say it's much less, but in effect, considering it's a microscopic invertebrate, it can jump much more times than its actual body length. And so your task now is to draw a diagram, a scientific diagram of what you've collected, and then by how many you've collected, how much, try to decide for yourself using your evidence. Is the soil where you collected that leaf litter from, do you think it's healthy? What recommendations would you give? So that's soil invertebrate telling us how healthy is your soil. And next we'll look at what type of soil you've got.